Good evening, everyone. Mentally strong people understand that their thoughts shape their reality. They know that every action they take begins with a thought, and they take full responsibility for what goes on in their minds. They don't allow themselves to be victims of circumstances or external influences. Instead, they recognize that they have control over how they respond to situations, how they interpret setbacks, and how they move forward in life. They do not blame others for their struggles or wait for someone else to change their circumstances. They take ownership of their mindset, decisions, and actions because they know that true power comes from within. Taking responsibility for one's thoughts means becoming aware of the internal dialogue that takes place daily. Many people go through life on autopilot, allowing negative thoughts, self-doubt, and fear to dictate their choices. Mentally strong individuals actively challenge these thoughts. When faced with self-limiting beliefs, they ask themselves, is this thought helping me or holding me back? Instead of accepting doubt as truth, they replace it with something constructive. If their mind says, I can't do this, they counter it with, I may not have done it before, but I can learn. They don't allow their thoughts to be ruled by fear, insecurity, or external expectations. They take charge and decide what kind of mindset they will operate from. Another aspect of taking responsibility is owning one's emotions. It is easy to react impulsively when faced with stress, frustration, or disappointment. Many people blame others for how they feel. He made me angry, or she ruined my day. But mentally strong individuals understand that no one has the power to control their emotions except themselves. They acknowledge their feelings, but instead of letting emotions dictate their actions, they choose how to respond. When someone criticizes them, they don't immediately react with defensiveness or anger. They pause, assess whether the feedback is useful, and decide how to respond in a way that aligns with their values. They refuse to give others control over their peace of mind. Taking responsibility also means accepting past mistakes and learning from them instead of dwelling on regret. Everyone makes poor decisions at some point, but mentally strong people don't waste time blaming themselves or others. They don't make excuses for their failures or pretend they never happened. Instead, they reflect on what went wrong, extract valuable lessons, and use those lessons to improve. If they lose a job, they don't just complain about unfair treatment. They analyze what they could have done differently and use that knowledge to be better prepared for the next opportunity. If they hurt someone, they don't justify their actions or shift blame. They take accountability, make amends, and work on becoming a better person. Ultimately, taking responsibility for thoughts and actions is about owning one's life. It is about refusing to be passive and instead choosing to be intentional with every decision. Mentally strong people understand that their thoughts drive their behavior, and their behavior determines their future. By taking control of their mindset and actions, they ensure that they are always moving forward, no matter the challenges they face. Mentally strong people understand that growth does not happen in comfort. They recognize that challenges, difficulties, and discomfort are not things to be avoided, but opportunities to evolve. The ability to embrace discomfort and seek growth is what separates those who remain stagnant from those who continue to push their limits and achieve great things. It is easy to fall into the trap of seeking comfort, avoiding difficult conversations, and staying in situations that feel familiar but do not lead to progress. However, those who build mental toughness understand that every meaningful change comes from stepping into the unknown and facing challenges head-on. Discomfort is a natural part of the learning process. When someone tries something new, whether it's learning a skill, starting a business, or making a major life change, there will be moments of doubt and fear. The mind naturally resists change because it craves certainty and stability, but mentally strong individuals don't allow that resistance to stop them. They push past the fear, knowing that on the other side of discomfort is personal and professional growth. They don't expect mastery overnight. Instead, they trust that with time, effort, and persistence, they will improve. They choose progress over comfort, understanding that temporary discomfort is a small price to pay for long-term success. Another way mentally strong people embrace discomfort is by putting themselves in situations where they are forced to adapt and grow. They do not wait for growth to happen by chance. they seek it out. They take on challenges that require them to develop new skills, expand their thinking, and overcome fears. If they are afraid of public speaking, they take the stage. If they struggle with self-discipline, they set strict routines and hold themselves accountable. If they fear rejection, they put themselves in situations where they have to face it repeatedly until it no longer holds them back. They know that every time they step outside their comfort zone, they are training their mind to become stronger and more resilient. Mentally strong individuals also embrace discomfort by welcoming feedback and criticism. Many people avoid feedback because it can be uncomfortable to hear that they are not doing something well. However, those who are committed to growth understand that constructive criticism is a gift. They do not take it personally or let it damage their self-worth. Instead, they analyze it objectively, extract valuable lessons, and use it to improve. They seek out mentors, coaches, and peers who challenge them rather than those who only offer praise. They know that true growth comes from facing weaknesses, addressing them, and continuously improving. In the end, embracing discomfort is a habit that builds resilience, adaptability, and confidence. It allows people to handle setbacks, navigate uncertainty, and continue growing despite challenges. Mentally strong people do not fear discomfort. They welcome it as a sign that they are evolving. They understand that the path to success is not meant to be easy, but it is always worth it. By actively seeking growth, they ensure that they are always moving forward, no matter how difficult the journey may be. Mentally strong people understand the importance of setting clear boundaries and protecting their energy. They recognize that not everyone and everything deserves their time, attention, or emotional investment. They know that in order to maintain focus, motivation, and inner peace, they must be intentional about who and what they allow into their lives. This isn't about being selfish, it's about self-preservation. They understand that if they give too much of themselves to negativity, toxic relationships, or distractions, they will drain their energy and lose sight of their goals. Setting boundaries starts with recognizing what truly matters. Mentally strong individuals are clear on their values, priorities, and long-term vision. Because of this, they do not allow external pressures to dictate their decisions. They are comfortable saying no to things that do not align with their purpose, even if it means disappointing others. They do not feel the need to overcommit or stretch themselves thin just to please people. They know that every yes to something unimportant is a no to something that actually matters. Instead of spreading themselves too thin, they focus on what truly adds value to their lives and contributes to their personal and professional growth. Another aspect of setting boundaries is choosing the right people to surround themselves with. Mentally strong people are mindful of the relationships they invest in. They avoid individuals who drain their energy, constantly bring negativity, or discourage them from pursuing their goals. They are not afraid to walk away from relationships that are toxic or one-sided. Instead, they cultivate relationships with those who uplift, challenge, and support them. They seek out people who inspire growth, push them to be better, and hold them accountable. They understand that their environment plays a significant role in shaping their mindset, so they intentionally build a circle that fuels their ambition rather than depleting it. Protecting energy also means being mindful of what they consume, both physically and mentally. Mentally strong individuals are aware that the information they take in, whether it's through social media, news, or conversations, affects their thoughts and emotions. They do not waste time engaging in gossip, meaningless debates, or negativity. They do not allow themselves to be overwhelmed by distractions that pull them away from their goals. Instead, they curate their environment in a way that fosters positivity, growth, and productivity. They choose to feed their minds with knowledge, inspiration, and content that aligns with their aspirations. Mentally strong people also understand that setting boundaries includes prioritizing self-care. They know that they cannot pour from an empty cup, so they take the time to recharge, reflect, and maintain balance. They make time for rest, exercise, and personal growth because they know that maintaining their own well-being is essential for long-term success. They do not feel guilty for taking breaks or stepping away from overwhelming situations. They recognize that in order to show up as their best selves, they must first take care of their own mental, emotional, and physical health. By setting clear boundaries and protecting their energy, they create a life that is purposeful, fulfilling, and aligned with their goals. Mentally strong people understand that emotions are powerful, but they do not let them control their decisions or dictate their actions. They recognize that feelings like fear, anger, frustration, and self-doubt are natural, but they refuse to let these emotions dictate their lives. Instead, they develop emotional intelligence, which allows them to acknowledge their emotions, understand them, and respond to them in a way that aligns with their long-term goals and values. They do not react impulsively or allow momentary feelings to sabotage their progress. Instead, they take a step back, process their emotions, and make decisions based on logic, wisdom, and self-awareness. One of the key ways mentally strong individuals manage their emotions is by practicing self-awareness. They take the time to understand what triggers certain emotions and why they feel a particular way in different situations. Instead of ignoring their feelings or suppressing them, they analyze them with curiosity and objectivity. If they feel overwhelmed, they pause and ask themselves, what is causing this feeling? Is this an emotional reaction, or is there a real problem that needs to be addressed? By doing this, they gain clarity and prevent their emotions from clouding their judgment. Another important aspect of emotional control is the ability to regulate reactions. Many people allow stress, frustration, or anger to dictate how they respond to challenges. They lash out, make impulsive decisions, or allow negativity to consume them. Mentally strong people, on the other hand, practice restraint. If someone says something hurtful, they don't immediately react with anger. If they face an obstacle, they don't allow frustration to push them into giving up. Instead, they take a deep breath, assess the situation rationally, and choose their response carefully. They understand that reacting emotionally often leads to regret, while responding with patience and thoughtfulness leads to better outcomes. Mentally strong individuals also develop the habit of reframing negative emotions into something productive. Instead of seeing fear as a signal to retreat, they view it as an opportunity to grow. Instead of allowing failure to create self-doubt, they use it as motivation to improve. When faced with setbacks, they do not dwell on feelings of disappointment or frustration. They focus on solutions. They remind themselves that emotions are temporary, but their actions determine long-term results. By shifting their perspective, they turn emotional challenges into stepping stones toward success. Another key practice of emotionally strong individuals is choosing their battles wisely. They do not waste energy getting upset over things they cannot control. They do not allow minor inconveniences, criticisms, or negativity from others to affect their peace of mind. Instead, they focus on what truly matters and let go of things that do not serve them. They recognize that their emotional energy is valuable, and they invest it only in situations that contribute to their growth, happiness, and success. By mastering their emotions and responding with wisdom instead of impulse, they maintain clarity, resilience, and control over their lives. Mentally strong people understand the power of discipline and consistency. They know that success is not about grand gestures or occasional bursts of motivation, but about showing up every single day and putting in the work. They do not rely on fleeting emotions or wait for inspiration to strike. Instead, they build habits and routines that keep them on track, even when they don't feel like it. They understand that discipline is not about being perfect, but about being committed to long-term progress, regardless of how they feel in the moment. One of the most important things mentally strong people do is create structure in their daily lives. They recognize that without a clear plan, it is easy to get distracted, lose focus, and fall into unproductive patterns. They set specific goals and break them down into actionable steps. Whether it's their career, fitness, personal growth, or relationships, they develop routines that keep them moving forward. They wake up at the same time each day, follow a schedule, and eliminate distractions that pull them away from their priorities. They don't allow themselves to make excuses. If they set a goal to work out every morning, they show up, regardless of how they feel. If they commit to learning a new skill, they put in the time consistently. even when progress feels slow. Another key aspect of discipline is learning to push through discomfort. Many people give up when things get difficult or when they don't see immediate results. Mentally strong individuals, however, do not let temporary struggles deter them. They accept that challenges and setbacks are part of the process. If they hit a roadblock, they don't quit. They adjust their approach and keep going. They understand that success is not about how fast they move, but about whether they keep moving at all. They trust the process and remain patient, knowing that consistent effort will eventually pay off. Mentally strong individuals also hold themselves accountable. They do not wait for someone else to push them or remind them of their goals. They take full responsibility for their actions and results. If they fail to meet a goal, they do not make excuses or blame external circumstances. Instead, they reflect on what went wrong, learn from their mistakes, and make the necessary adjustments. They understand that discipline is about self-control and making choices that align with their values, even when no one is watching. Finally, mentally strong people build resilience through consistency. They understand that success is not about talent alone, but about the ability to keep going despite difficulties. They do not allow one bad day, one failure, or one setback to define them. Instead, they show up the next day and try again. They develop a mindset that prioritizes progress over perfection and effort over excuses. By staying disciplined and consistent, they build the habits and mindset necessary to achieve their goals and become the best version of themselves. Mentally strong people know that self-reflection is a powerful tool for growth. They make it a daily habit to check in with themselves, evaluate their thoughts and actions, and ensure they are moving in the right direction. They do not go through life on autopilot, blindly reacting to circumstances. Instead, they take the time to pause, assess their progress, and make necessary adjustments. This habit of self-reflection allows them to stay aligned with their goals, maintain clarity in their decisions, and continuously improve themselves. One of the ways mentally strong people practice self-reflection is by asking themselves the right questions. They do not just think about what happened during their day, they dig deeper into why things happened the way they did. They ask themselves questions like, did I give my best effort today? What could I have done better? Did I react to a situation emotionally or rationally? Am I staying true to my values and long-term goals? These questions help them gain insight into their behavior, identify patterns, and recognize areas for improvement. Another key part of self-reflection is learning from mistakes instead of being discouraged by them. Many people dwell on their failures, allowing them to create self-doubt and fear. Mentally strong individuals, however, see mistakes as opportunities for growth. They analyze what went wrong, take responsibility for their actions, and use the experience to become better. They do not let failure define them, they let it refine them. They understand that every setback carries a lesson, and by reflecting on those lessons, they can avoid repeating the same mistakes in the future. Mentally strong people also use self-reflection to track their progress. They understand that growth is not always obvious, and sometimes small improvements can go unnoticed. By regularly evaluating their journey, they can see how far they have come and recognize the progress they have made. This keeps them motivated and reinforces their commitment to their goals. Even when progress feels slow, they remind themselves that consistency and effort will eventually lead to success. Another important aspect of self-reflection is maintaining emotional awareness. Mentally strong individuals take the time to understand their emotions and how they affect their decisions and interactions. They recognize when they are feeling stressed, overwhelmed, or frustrated, and instead of ignoring these emotions, they address them. This helps them maintain control over their reactions and avoid making impulsive decisions based on temporary feelings. They develop the ability to step back, process their emotions, and respond in a way that aligns with their values and goals. Finally, self-reflection helps mentally strong people stay focused on what truly matters. In a world full of distractions, it is easy to lose sight of priorities. By taking time each day to reflect, they ensure that they are not being pulled in directions that do not serve them. They realign themselves with their purpose, adjust their strategies when needed, and stay committed to their vision. This habit allows them to continuously grow, make better decisions, and build a life that is intentional, fulfilling, and meaningful.